Presented by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
This is Carefree Arizona Mayor John Crane. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, hosted by Carefree's favorite son, Vince DeLisio, who was just awarded Carefree's Man of the Year and given the key to the city. Oops, I just perjured myself.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening
to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Beatrice Martinez. We are live here from Cruising Through the Decades here at Desert Ridge High School. And with me today, I have my co-host, Dom Hernandez and Vince DeLisio. Like I said, we are live here at Cruising Through the Decades here at Desert Ridge High School. This is an event that's taking place today from 7 to 1 p.m. The show will start at 9 a.m. And, you know, the weather's not too bad right now. It's pretty nice. You know, the past few days have been a little bit chilly and rainy, so can't complain about the weather today. Dom, how are you feeling about the weather?
It's chilly today, but I'm happy to be out here doing this show with you.
You guys don't sound very convincing.
Yeah.
I know it's a little overcast,
Yeah,
but I feel like, you get that music in the background. It's like we're at Happy Days again, It's hanging out at Arnold's. Joining us, actually, right now is one of the event organizers, a gentleman by the name of Carl. Carl, tell us a little bit. First of all, good morning to you. Thanks for coming over.
Morning. Appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, well, we're excited as well. I know there's a lot of activity. It was nice you pulled up in your golf cart here and you were able to join us for a few minutes. Tell us about the event. How long's it been around? What's it about? Who does it benefit? Et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead.
Gosh, we started this. This is our 11th year having this car show, and it's grown steadily each year. I think last year we had 273 cars.
Wow.
And today we're expecting over 300. So it's we've got vendors, food, but everything here benefits 100% benefits the Desert Ridge theater program here.
Nice.
For scholarships and for assisting underprivileged kids.
Awesome. And I know we spoke a little bit about, you have, I think your kids went here. I'm not sure if they are here, so let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I have two kids, and both of them attended the high school, and we're in the theater program all the way from 2007 until my daughter graduated in 2013. So I've actually been chairman of this show for all those years after, even though I don't have any kids going to the high school anymore. So it's a worthy cause.
Yeah, awesome.
So, Carl, what has it meant for you to be able to be the organizer of this show for so long?
It's really a community event, and it really brings everyone together. you can just see from everyone out on the show field today, they're happy, they're excited to come here. It's turned into the largest car show in the East Valley, and I'm proud of that. But I'm really proud that the kids participate each year out here, out in the at the event. So they're all in costumes from the 1920s to the 1980s, and they'll actually be performing some of their routines that they've practiced and rehearsed from their show that they're going to be doing here in a couple months, which is Legally Blonde, so the musical. Nice. So I encourage all your listeners to come out to Desert Ridge and see Legally Blonde when they're performing, because they're awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about the cars out here, because I'm looking back behind you. They're the real stars of the show here. I mean, look at all these classics out here.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Oh, we have everything. I think the oldest car today, I think, is a 1920, I think.
Yeah.
And we have them all the way up until new Corvettes.
Yeah,
so
beautiful Bel Air, Chevy Bel Air over there. It looks like you've got that old pickup truck, that old Ford. You got an old classic Mustang over there. I mean, it looks like you got a little bit of everything. Let's talk numbers now. When we talk about the dollars that you've been able to generate for the theater program, can you give us some insight as to? Oh,
sure.
Yeah,
sure. We the show ends up bringing, the last few years, gross has brought in probably about $10,000 for the program, which. It sure beats having one car show versus selling cookie dough and wrapping paper and magazine subscriptions. So
nice.
And so I know. So I'm looking on your guys' website, and it says you guys have awards at 12:30. So I'm just curious, what kind of awards are going to be awarded?
So we have a Best of Class award for our 19 classes, and then we also have Best of Show, a Participant's Choice Award. And a Student's Choice Award, so the students actually get to go around and vote on which cars was their favorite, and then there's a Ladies' Choice. So,
Ladies' Choice, what is that?
So,
just the ladies'
just
choice.
The ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, the ladies get to go around and decide. A lot of times, believe it or not, a pink, there was a pink Cadillac one year that got picked. So
okay. Well, Mary Kay Cosmetics there.
Exactly.
Okay, nice. It's an amazing event. It's a worthy cause, obviously. It's to benefit our students, the theater program out here at Desert Ridge High School. Come on out, guys. We're at the corner of Crisman and Madero.
Yep.
Okay, in East Mesa, depending on what part of the valley that you're from. And this is an amazing site. You've got over 300 cars you're expecting. How many people are you expecting out here today?
Oh, gosh. We're expecting probably about 3,000 to 4,000 people coming through here. So,
okay.
Just spectators.
And at what time or what hour, I guess, would you say is the kind of the hour where everybody starts to really show up?
I would. Early. Yeah, I would. Anytime between 9 and 2 p.m. You'll get a great show. So.
Okay. Is there an entry fee?
There is. So if you've got a classic car and you want to come out here today, hurry down here. It's $25 registration for day of show, and spectating is free. So.
Wonderful.
So bring the family out.
Well, come on out, and obviously if you want to make a donation to the theater program at Desert Ridge after coming out here and seeing this amazing event, then feel free. Who can they contact, sir?
They can contact the theater director. She is normally hanging around the registration booth at the show, so if you want to come out here and do that, otherwise you can contact the front office at the high school.
Okay. All right. Well, Carl, thank you so much for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. We are out cruising with the classics car show, Desert Ridge High School in East Mesa, corner of Crisman and Madero. Come on out, guys, and we are here. Well, we're here until 10 o'clock. Come by, say hello to us, and, of course, come and see these beautiful classic cars. And meet Carl. He's tooling around here on a golf cart and is the guy in charge. So ask for him. Tell him that Vince, Beatrice, and Dom said you guys can get in after you give a little donation at the door.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks again, Carl.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, Beatrice, Dom, let's talk a little bit about today's show. So what do we have coming up today?
Yeah, so we'll be hearing from soon here. We'll be hearing from Mike Jacobs. So that'll be interesting. Talk a little bit about Thunderbird baseball and their the beginning of their season. And then we have a lot more coming. Dom, you can go ahead and kind of
Yeah, and about 8:30, I'm going to be doing an interview and bringing back the GCU men's rugby coach, Sean O'Leary, to give us a little update on how the rugby season has been going and kind of get a sense of what the season's going to look like going forward. And then later at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, we're going to bring in the head coach of the GCU women's rugby team to do a live interview with her as well.
You know, we've got a big game tomorrow out at Grand Canyon University. Women's rugby will be out there. We'll be live streaming the game. You can get the link on our Twitter page at Varsity Show. But I'm looking forward to talking to Coach O'Leary, the men's rugby director of rugby for Grand Canyon University. He's a great guy. Gentleman's from Ireland, and he's very distinguished, and he's very animated. He's just a fun interview. Looking forward to bringing him on. So it should be a lot of fun. It's starting hour number 2. We'll be featuring the GCU Club Report. And then we're moving on. We'll have the head baseball coach of Saguaro High School, Coach Joe Mickey, who's an old friend of our program. We're going to be ramping up coverage with them again. And then into the 9:30 segment, we will be... in the 9:30 segment, we've got a bunch of content from our broadcast journalism team. A lot of good stuff coming. And then, of course, the Aztec Report with Hannah Pettiferi, focusing on Corona del Sol Aztecs. Maya Denise Gaskin with the Around the Globe report. Alexis Davis, with the assist. Overview with Olivia Herzberg. And then in the 9:45 segment, our final segment of the day, we're bringing back our old friend Mike Beal with the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report. Looking forward to talking to Mike. Mike always brings us some good education. He likes to poke a little bit of fun as well, but he is our real Southern California surfer guy that's an expert on all things the beach, and he's an old friend of mine, so looking forward to that. Guys, what do you have going on this semester? Beatrice, you go ahead. Yeah. Now, aside from what kind of things are you doing with the Varsity Sports Show?
Yeah, so with the Varsity Sports Show, I've been doing a lot of color analyst and also been doing some play-by-play, which coming into this internship, I was not really, I would say play-by-play wasn't my first choice, but, of course, the one and only Vince has challenged me and has pushed me out of my comfort zone.
That's right. Got to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and I've really been enjoying play-by-play, and so far I've only covered basketball, so I'm really looking forward to, picking up some play-by-play experience with other sports as well. So that's mainly what I've been doing. I've been doing a little bit of sideline as well, and, of course, co-hosting here not every Saturday, but this is my second show so far. So
awesome. Dom, what about you?
Same here. I've been doing some play-by-play of some basketball games, as well as some color analysts, but I've also been getting some work with doing the camera on the floor, so it's just been really cool to get some experience with some fields I don't have that much experience in, and just getting to learn all that I can.
Now, you're calling the rugby match tomorrow.
I am.
You ready for that?
I'm a little nervous because I don't know that much. I'm still a little rusty on some of the rugby rules, but I'm just looking forward to the challenge of being able to call the sport, and it was a lot of fun when I did the men's rugby match back in January, so it's going to be it's going to be interesting tomorrow.
It will be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out at Grand Canyon University in the big stadium for the women's rugby match. They're hosting Cal State Northridge, so it should be a lot of fun. It should be interesting, and expect a lot of points on one side, and Grand Canyon is very good. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, like I said, we're ramping up baseball, finishing up playoff coverage of soccer and basketball over the next week. We're starting up baseball next week. Thunderbird Titans will be joined by Coach Mike Jacobs in the next segment. From Thunderbird, and then later in the show, Coach Joe Mickey. So our first announcement of the spring will be with Coach Mike Jacobs here in the next segment. Beatrice, you excited? You ready to go?
I'm ready.
How about you, Dom? You all set to go?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Okay, all right. Beatrice, go ahead and take us on out. Talk about our next segment specifically, and take us out.
Yeah, so coming up next, we will have Coach Mike Jacobs from Thunderbird Baseball, who will be joining us, and we'll be able to talk a little bit about the season going on. And I know that they actually played tonight at 3 p.m. So I'm interested to talk a little bit about that with Coach, and to see how, the season's going to be, what he looks for the rest of the season. And they have a pretty young team. They have 8 sophomores on the team, so it'll be interesting to talk to him a little bit about that as well.
Okay. We'll be right back here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show, coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb Wiley. I'm from the LA area, and I study sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU. From being the sports editor at my high school to being a broadcast reporter for Cronkite News, I like to say I bring a nice versatility to the show. Whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes, can't wait to bring you guys high school sports content on the Varsity Sports Show. See you guys there.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbeterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind.
Hi, my name is Jacob Seaver with the Varsity Sports Show, and I am currently a sophomore at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School for Journalism and Mass Communication. I am excited to be on the mic this year and looking forward to bringing you some of the best high school and JUCO content that the world has to offer. Definitely looking forward to seeing you and for you to hear me on the Varsity Sports Show.
James Out West, featuring Ryan Brooks, brings NFL, NBA, and local sports talk to you Monday nights at 7 here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060
You're live.
KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined by my broadcast partners today, Beatrice Martinez and Dom Hernandez. And we are out at the Cruising with the Classics car show out at Mesa's Desert Ridge High School, corner of Crisman and Madero in East Mesa. It's an amazing event, a lot of classics out here. And talk about a classic. We got a classic on the line with us. Thunderbird Baseball head baseball coach Mike Jacobs, who we are partnering up with this spring. Coach Jacobs, good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Coach, we are so excited about this partnership with Thunderbird, with the Titans. I can't tell you, it is going to be, we got a couple things up our sleeve for games this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. You've got an amazing group of supporters in the families that support your program. Tell us a little bit about this year, the 2023 version of the Titans.
Well, this year we're coming off of a strong ending in 2022, so we're looking to capitalize and continue to grow on that. We're playing in the Phoenix Christian Cougar Classic at the moment, so we're wrapping up our fourth game today at 3 o'clock against Odyssey Institute. We started off a little slow, 0-3. But some growing pains. We got a lot of young sophomores, a couple juniors, and a handful of seniors. So it's good for us to get these games in early so we can work through these growing pains. But we're excited to get going today, this afternoon, and then next week with 3 PowerPoint games against some tough opponents. So we're just really excited to capitalize off of these things that we've been learning over the last 3 days.
Hey, Coach, this is Beatrice here, one of the co-hosts here, and I just wanted to ask you, I know you said you guys are 0-3, so what, for tonight's game, or for not tonight's game, but the 3 o'clock game, mid-afternoon, what adjustments would you like to see in today's game, to help you guys kind of come out with a win today?
The losses have been close ones. The first game, we blew a 4-run lead in the top of the 7th inning. We had 2 outs, 2 strikes, and we ended up losing 9-4. So it was it was a heartbreaker on that one. But again, we were in a position to win. Things didn't go our way. Played a tough Paradise Valley team and started hitting the ball well. The following night, Thursday, we played Yuma Catholic, who was in the state championship game last year, and we were in another position, 4-2, bases loaded with one of our studs up, Noah Anderson, and didn't come through. Ended up with the loss in that one. And then last night, playing a tough Salarita team from Tucson. For the first 2 innings, didn't go well, but the last 3, it was a 1-0 ball game. We played well and had some good pitching. So one of the biggest things, to answer your question, I think going into tonight and capitalizing off of the 3 games that we've kind of seen, is getting ahead of hitters early on in counts for pitchers, which will minimize those hitters' counts that we're getting into. And then really putting guys on base with free passes. We've had a few hit by pitches and some walks, and that'll happen when you're getting behind with hitters. So I'd really like to see our pitchers get ahead early in counts and keep guys off base if they're not earning it.
Hey, Coach, this is Dominic here, one of the co-hosts here. So I know you guys, you're finishing up this tournament, like you said. So what do you hope the team learns from this experience of playing in this tournament?
I think one of the biggest things is the speed of the game that we're going to have to be able to play at. Again, with a handful of sophomores that are starting and playing, those are some of the things that we'd like to see, and I think a few of them are coming off of a state playoff basketball run. One of our starting players, Chase Benson, so he's kind of getting his feet wet still. One of our starting shortstops, Matt Hornberg, who was in the state playoffs for soccer. So I think just getting the reps, getting guys back into their timing, the speed of the game, we'll be in a position, I think, going into next week with Noah Anderson on the mound Tuesday against Coconino. Guys swinging the bat pretty well and buying into the type of baseball that we have to play, which is small ball, hit and runs, getting on base, being real gritty, stealing bases, balls in the dirt. So those are the things that I'd like to see as we go into today's game and into next week, is just speeding things up, and we'll be okay.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Jacobs, for coming on the show today to do this interview, and good luck on the rest of the upcoming season.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I've just been very impressed with what you guys do, and look forward to working with you guys this season.
Wow, high praise from a great mentor of our young people, Thunderbird baseball coach Mike Jacobs. We're going to have him on throughout the season, actually, since we are going to be covering at least 5 games this spring, and then hopefully into postseason, get some postseason coverage for Thunderbird. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Our first game will be this upcoming week. They host Poston Butte. That's going to be a big game, big challenge for these guys. They're a little bit of a younger team, but a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation. But the biggest thing is they've got a lot of support out there. So that's what we're so especially excited about. So thank you so much, Thunderbird Titan community, for giving us this opportunity to cover you. We're going to have a lot of fun with it this year. So, Dom, what do we have coming up next?
So we have coming up next, we have the It's Dylan segment coming up next. So don't go anywhere. We still have a lot of great content coming up in the next hour or so. So it's really looking forward to what's coming up next.
All right, the It's Dylan with Dylan Weinmiller, brought to you by our old friend Sabrina Giles. And go ahead, Aaron, take it away.
He's back again, DYLAN. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show segment. It's Dylan, featuring Dylan and highlighting his latest adventures. This segment is brought to you by Chris Scott of Remax Key Properties in Bend, Oregon. Now it's time to grab your snacks, turn your volume up as you tune into It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show segment. It's Dylan, featuring Dylan. I'm your host, Sabrina, and like I said, I'm here with none other than Dylan. Dylan, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderfully well. How are you doing?
Doing great. All right, Dylan, let's jump into it. So last time we talked, there was something, that was brewing that we didn't talk about, but it got started about last week. Do you want to share the news of what has changed in the past 2 weeks?
Well, you got to remind me, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about a coaching position.
Yeah, I took the I shouldn't say I accepted the Metro Tech varsity baseball head coaching job. And you know what? It's going a lot better than I could have ever imagined. I brought on a couple of guys that have really saved me and the team in the season. Now, I don't know what we'll win, what we'll lose, and all that, but they are actually teaching and coaching baseball where I thought, hey guys, if you're stuck with me, you're going to learn football. And that was just a thing because I've never coached baseball before, but everything is going so well right now. The guys are working hard. We're changing some things culturally and fundamentally that they just either were not doing. And I'm not asking questions or blaming anybody or anything else. We're starting fresh. But it's just been one of those refreshing things that the kids are really buying into the philosophy. And, I kept hearing going into it, coaches are coaches. Like you can coach baseball. If you've coached football, if you've coached basketball, if you've coached wrestling, if you've done any of those, you can coach baseball. And I was really, really hesitant in the beginning because I literally, I can watch and I can look and I can see something that doesn't look right, but to teach it fundamentally is something that I'm so grateful to have these two assistants that came on with me to help me do, because all the other stuff I handled and the kids are buying into the philosophy quite a bit. So it's a different day every day, but we're having fun and the kids are getting better and we're enjoying it. So it's been a blast.
Yeah. So what are those teaching hurdles kind of with baseball that you kind of originally thought of? So what are some of those teaching hurdles with baseball at the current moment?
For me, it was as simple as the lingo and really just, being in positions and, and teaching someone how to really throw a baseball. I've always short-armed everything. Even when I played baseball and played football, if I threw a football around, it was all just arm action, no real torque or any, there's a lot of mechanics that go into baseball that I was not aware of. The hitting is a skill to be taught. Catching's a skill to be taught. Like I said, my first day I was out there solo and it was bizarre because I'm looking at it, I'm looking at things and I'm going, keep the ball in front of you. Nothing gets behind you. And I'm thinking in football terms, and the second day I let one of the assistants know, like, if this were football, I wouldn't just tell a kid to blitz. Like, we're going to teach everything and we're going to progress literally from the first step, and then your reads and your aiming points. And what do you do when you get there? And what happens if they tuck? What happens if they roll out right or left? Like, there's so much that goes into it. And the first day we're just kind of throwing and hitting balls at people and expecting them to know and to do. And that was my fault. And I didn't know any better. But after watching it and going through it, it definitely changed all of my perspective. And I was so fortunate to get guys that wanted to come on and help me that really know the ins and outs of the game. And that's been the biggest blessing for me up to this point. And now we get to go and play. We play Friday first, and second week we go 3 games. So I mean, school year is gonna end pretty fast, whether we like it or not. And I'm having fun doing it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you gotten any like homework that you've gotten from either of these two coaches?
Yeah, you know what? That is a great question. And I'm learning stuff every day. You kind of put me on the spot to like specifically, but I do learn every day and I am able, like today, I hit the fungo. I hit the infield, outfield stuff. I took about 50 swings. I may not be able to walk tomorrow or the next day and the next day. But you know what? I took charge of that while they went and worked bullpen work with the pitchers and catchers. So little things like that. And, just overall, the kids really buying into, we are going to have class and we are going to have discipline. We're not going to be, other teams. We're not going to act like we used to. Profanity is a big one that we've cut out pretty much. Throwing little mini tantrums when things don't go your way. So that's really where I come in. The organizational stuff, the administrative stuff, the kind of head coaching stuff. I leave the baseball and managerial type things and lineups and things like that to the assistants that really know what they're doing. Because right now, if I did that, I'd just be cheating the program.
Well, Dylan, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Dylan. I really do appreciate it.
All right. I'll see you soon. Keep up the great work.
And thank you to you for tuning into It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show.
Carving now time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
It's game time, and we're here to win. Hi, I'm Sabrina Giles. I'm a senior at ASU and studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications, with my major being sports journalism. I'm excited to announce that this spring I will be working with the Varsity Sports Show to bring you any and all things sports. From commentary to broadcast, I'll be working to cover your favorite teams and make my mark on the world of sports journalism.
Hello, my name is Hannah Pettiferry, and I am currently a student at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications here at Arizona State University. I am beyond excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this spring. Growing up, I have always played sports, and now I cannot wait to be able to study, analyze, and commentate on the sports that are being played this season in Arizona.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Dominic Hernandez, and I'm here with my co-hosts Beatrice Martinez and Vince DeLisio here at the Cruising Through the Decades Car Show, and it's been a great show so far, and we're very excited right now to bring back coach of the men's rugby, GCU men's rugby team, Sean O'Leary. So, Coach O'Leary, how are you doing today?
Great, Dom. How are you?
I'm doing great right now.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm doing great right now. So, Coach, we know the season's fully underway right now, so just give us a little update on how it's been going so far.
Well, since we last spoke, we've gotten into the meat of our schedule. When we last spoke, we were playing UCLA that day, which was a top 15 ranked team. We were blessed to win that game. Played very well, and then since then we've had to match up with top 3 team in the country, Cal Berkeley, in the rain out in Berkeley, and that was a big score against us. And then 5 days later we played the 8th team in the country, BYU, and we shipped another big score against us. I think it was like both were in their 60s to the teens for us. So but having said that, and today we're playing the 5th-ranked team in the country, St. Mary's. I'm actually at the airport if you hear anything in the background. Mm-hmm. We've just flown in from Phoenix. So, but the great thing about it is with the young side, we need to play these games against the top teams in the country, and we need to know how to beat them when we play them next year and the year after. So it's not about immediate results. It's about development for the future.
So, Coach, speaking about the younger side of your team, so what are you hoping the younger players get from being able to learn from these experiences of playing these games against like higher level competition?
Well, that's the question that I think they need to be able to answer themselves too. For me, it's the experience of playing these teams and to see why they're better than us. Is it because they're tactically more aware? Are they just fitter? And obviously the answer to that question then helps our team get better. Resilience is one of the things I'd like to see, is a little bit of grit and never say die and kind of finish out games. I think let's look at it. We have a mental performance professor at GCU who has just started to come out with us, and he talked about the desire to win. And every team that's in our division, or every team that's a high-performing team in any sport, they all want to win. They all say winning is important. So for us, we put that aside and say, okay, winning is terribly, terribly important. But how do we get to there? What are the behaviors or performances we need to do to get there? So do the small things well, work hard, work for each other, never sit down at it. Those are the types of things I hope that by the time we get back in a plane here, I think we leave here at 4 o'clock this afternoon, no matter what the result is, that we have proven that we match in what areas of and that's all I want out of it. The team is very young. It's all freshmen and sophomores. So keep building is all I say.
Yeah, Coach, hi, this is Beatrice here, and I really love everything that you just said, and it's, mental health and with athletes I think is super important. I myself was an athlete and I understand, and I just love that you're really instilling that in these young athletes. So I know you did say you guys played today against St. Mary, so what do you really hope to see in today's match?
Beatrice, for us today, it's we had a bad performance 2 weeks ago against BYU. Yes, it was only 5 days after Cal, but I don't like using excuses, and I don't want my players to get used to using excuses. So that's the first thing. We have an opportunity today for redemption. So I want them to redeem for themselves. After a poor performance, I would like to get their best performance today. If each of them gave their best performance and effort today, we're going to be in so much better place. And that's all I want from today, to not be able to use the excuse of, we're just not good enough yet. That's a waste of time in my mind. We can come out of here today saying, okay, we didn't give a good performance against BYU. We bounced back. We've had a good training sessions this week. And we bounced back after the disappointment of losing 2 games against top 5 teams in the country. And now what are we going to do here facing another one? So, I think that's what they want too. I know we've talked about it all week, and talking is one thing. I just want to see the guys perform to the best of their ability today.
Awesome, Coach. And I just have one more question for you. I saw that you have a dog named Spartacus. Is that right?
So I always wanted a small dog, and from maybe 20 years ago, I always wanted to name him Spartacus, so that he would have a big personality. So yes, we call him Sparty, but his name is Spartacus.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a half Chihuahua Pomeranian mix. He's 6 pounds, and he's full of vim and vigor and my personality.
Awesome, I love that. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing from you soon, and best of luck in the rest of your season.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're coming. March is going to be a good month for us. We have 3 more games in March. Maybe we can connect after that when we have some success towards the end and leading into the playoffs.
Of course. Thank you, Coach.
Cheers. Thanks you guys all the time. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have Jake and Caleb with their pre-record, so we'll be going into that. Aaron, back to you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my segment on the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Jacob Seaver, and today I have a special treat for the baseball fans out there with the MLB season right around the corner. With MLB spring training having just started yesterday, I felt it would be a great opportunity to bring you guys some baseball content, and now is the perfect time to do so. Major League Baseball just implemented some potentially controversial new rule changes that will directly affect the way the game is played. Sure, baseball has changed its rules in the past. In 2014, the MLB implemented a comprehensive instant replay system allowing teams to challenge rulings on the field, with the possibility of getting calls overturned. Also in 2014, the MLB placed a ban on blocking home plate, a strategy used by catchers that oftentimes led to nasty and sometimes disastrous collisions at home plate. Baseball has been changing its rules for decades, but this year is different. This year, the MLB is implementing 3 new major rules, all 3 of which have been experimented with in the past in the Atlantic League, which is an official MLB partner league here in the United States. Over the years, the Atlantic League has been considered somewhat of a test dummy for new MLB rules. Potential rule changes would be tested out in the Atlantic League first, then eventually brought over to the MLB. But again, some of these recent rule changes are just a little bit different than the ones we're used to seeing. Now, to detail some of the actual rule changes that will be soon coming to the MLB. First, there will be an addition of a pitch timer, which will ultimately force batters and pitchers to work together to get the pitch thrown by a certain point. The batters have to be in the box, and the pitcher has to be on the mound ready to throw the pitch before the pitch expires. If one of the players violates the rule, they will receive either a ball or a strike. Next being added to the rule changes, the ban of defensive shifts, ultimately requiring defensive players to stand in certain positions on the field at certain times, meaning that at this point, you have to only have 2 infielders on the left side, and at another certain point, you have to have 2 infielders on the right side of the infield. Basically, what this does is it forces players to play defense in their positions rather than shifting based on the offensive player. This promotes offense in the MLB and promotes more hitting as opposed to promoting defense. The third thing that is changing in the major leagues is going to be the size of the bases. MLB is increasing the size of the base, ultimately to promote stolen bases and give players a better chance at reaching base safely. This is a basic overview of all the rules that have been changed recently by the MLB. There has been a mixed reaction from baseball fans around the world regarding these recent changes.
So I think that implementing the pitch clock is going to be a good thing for the league overall, mainly for the viewers who are watching the game, because what's going to happen with the pitch clock is the game is going to feel a lot more rhythmic. Every 30 seconds you can expect a pitch. There aren't going to be these long breaks in between where they might step off a few times and throw over to first or, adjust their hat. Like, it's going to be more easy to follow because each pitch is predictable. It's going to be on a schedule. So I know with a lot of viewers watching baseball, it's hard to stay focused because there can be long breaks in between pitches and at bats. So yeah.
It is definitely going to be an interesting season as we see how things play out with these new rules in place. Once again, for Varsity Sports, I'm Jacob Seaver, and thank you so much for tuning in.
That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the
Welcome to the Ref Spotlight with AIA basketball official Caleb Wiley breaking down plays and rulings. Good morning and welcome back to another Ref Spotlight with your host Caleb Wiley. Last time I talked about backcourt violations. This time I want to talk about held ball, not necessarily jump ball, which is almost the same thing, basically the same thing, but there are different situations that happens that are technically held ball, and when it happens, it looks like a travel. So I just want to go to the rule book and read the definition from the page, what a held ball is, and then I also want to describe some situations where when this happens, it is a held ball and not a travel, even though it kind of looks like it. So in the rule book, it is Rule 4, Section 25, Article 2. An opponent places his or her hands on the ball and prevents an airborne player from throwing the ball or releasing it on a try. So let's say a player is airborne for a layup and the opponent blocks it with his hand, but the way he blocks it is they both are holding the ball at the same time, one hand in one hand. That looks like a travel because he lands with the ball, but they both have control. That is a held ball. That should be a jump ball, not a travel. I see people trying to say it's a travel all the time, but it's not. So that should be a held ball, and possession goes wherever the possession arrow is pointing. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you for listening to the Ref Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show.
Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. It's James Out West featuring Ryan Brooks as the duo breaks down the NFL, NBA, and the local sports scene here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the Varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan.
Hello, hola Arizona. It's your girl from the Valley, Beatrice Martinez. I'm a sports journalism master's student at ASU's Cronkite School of Journalism, and I'm so happy to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show. I, myself, was a hooper and a 3-sport athlete my freshman year of college. I'm very excited to bring you all the coverage over your local high school sports this semester. Are you ready? Let's get it!
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Good morning, Arizona. Welcome to this segment presented by the Varsity Sports Show that features high school highlights from the Valley. Sebastian has some special news for you. Let's see what's in store today. Welcome back to another episode of the AZ High School Highlights. And yes, this has become a series for everyone to enjoy. In this episode, we'll mainly focus towards what's going on with the postseason of soccer. First, we have number 5 Perry advancing to the 6A state championship game after upsetting number 1 Tucson. On the other side, we have San Luis, who defeated the state premier's Brophy. Finally, Saguaro stories continue as they advance to the 4A championship game. We have a lot to cover. Here we go. On Tuesday night in the 6A semifinal round, number 5 Perry defeated number 1 Tucson 5-3 to progress to the first state championship game in the history of the school. The Pumas tallied first in the game held at Marana Mountain View, setting the tone for the evening. Aiden Yen scored 2 minutes after Hudson Deutsch, a senior forward, giving the team a 2-0 advantage with a goal after 6 minutes. The Badgers entered with a 13-1 record in ranking matches and had been outscoring opponents 23-4 in their previous 5 games, but the early deficit in the semifinals game altered the dynamic of the game. Perry have struggled since reaching the semifinals in 2011. Tucson won a state championship in 2014, and their team is regarded as one of the best in the state. Before this winter, the Pumas have won 2 state playoffs games since that period. Coincidentally, one of those triumphs came in Tucson in 2019 with a 2-1 surprise. To set up the triumph over top-seeded Tucson this winter, the program defeated state power number 4 Sunnyside 2-1 in the quarterfinal round. The prize is Saturday night state championship game at Dobson High School against number 2 San Luis. If the Pumas manage to upset the odds, it would be one of Arizona's greatest championship campaigns ever. An absolute fantastic fairy tale run for Perry. Good luck to them against San Luis. Speaking about San Luis, they are also going to be fighting for that coveted ring as they are considered to be one of the best programs in the state, but they don't have a ring. So this game on Saturday is going to be one of the important games of their program. As San Luis defeated Brophy 1-0, the final whistle blew and every single player within the sidelines for San Luis were hugging each other, crying, and finally have the opportunity to win a ring for San Luis. The last time these two met was during the 2021 6A championship game, in which San Luis grabbed the early 1-0 lead. Instead of continuing to provide pressure, San Luis decided to protect that goal and was costly as Brophy was able to find the goal and win later on. Brophy might have had difficulty scoring this time even in San Luis' optimistic offense seeds progressing. The Sidewinders defense established its mettle by holding Brophy without a goal for the first time this year, making them the first Arizona team to do so. In reality, neither side had many scoring chances as San Luis converted its finest opportunity and stopped Brophy's best effort. The 22nd minute was the biggest highlight of the game as Alejandro Pena, the goalkeeper for San Luis, blocked a crucial penalty from Brophy, which isolated the game and let them have the 1-0 win to go on to play Perry in the 6A state championship game. Good luck to San Luis and good luck to Perry. Finally, to end this episode, we have the Saguaro Sabercats defeating the Goldwater Bulldogs 4-1 to advance to the 2023 4A Conference State Championship game. Although it was a chilly afternoon, the Bulldogs' physical brand of soccer fired things up right away. In the opening minutes, senior forward Jug Dunlop was severely fouled at midfield during a sliding challenge. Bulldogs' rough play did not prevent Saguaro from generating opportunities. Senior midfielder Luis Espino received a pass from outside the box and slipped it past the goalie to give Saguaro a 1-0 lead right away. The first half physical play continued despite two more obvious no calls that ended in the Sabercats' offensive assault. In the second half, the Bulldogs were able to score right away to tie the game. However, the second half belonged to Saguaro as Brunson Smith, Anthony Ponce, and Jack Dunlop scored to ice the game and ended to 4-1. That's all the time I have left for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy, and like always, good luck to all three teams playing in the championship game. That's all for me. You guys have a varsity amazing day.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. This is the JUCO Sports Report. And now, here is Jodeci Ariana with the JUCO Sports Report.
Welcome to the JUCO Sports Report. I'm your host, Jodeci Ariana, with freshman right-hand pitcher Kansai Sugimoto. Thank you for joining us for this interview. First,
no worries.
Okay, so Sugi, this is your first season with the Yavapai Rough Riders. What are you expecting this season?
Honestly, I'm looking for somewhere to play baseball through the season, and I'm really excited to play against good players in this high intensity region.
So how have you been adjusting to this college level baseball?
JUCO is actually better than I thought. My roommate is a really nice guy. All we do is just go to school and play baseball, and I love playing baseball. So this is my dream, just baseball. It's really good.
When did you realize you wanted to be a pitcher?
I mean, I was also a hitter too in high school, but I couldn't hit. It's just hitting is not my thing, and I was like, okay, if I want to play baseball, I think pitching is the only way. And I was like, yeah, no more hitting, just pitching.
No hitting.
No hitting.
Don't put me in.
And no.
So you're originally from Kyoto, Japan, and you went to high school in Canada. Mm-hmm. What brought you to Arizona?
So when I was playing baseball in Canada, the program was really good, and we traveled a lot. And the former coach from Yavapai contacted me, and there was Japanese elder. I used to play with him for 1 year, and I really idolized him. He was a great guy, and he was at Yavapai. So I was like, okay, if he came to Yavapai must be a really good school, and I have decided to come here.
So how has living in different countries helped your game?
Honestly, it was really tough for me at the beginning. When I first moved to Canada, I was kind of homesick and stuff. I miss my family, but now I can speak enough English, and I'm just living life with all my American friends and stuff. It's really cool to have friends, because also a lot of people from different countries in JUCO too. It's not just me from foreigners.
So once again, welcome to the JUCO Sports Report. I'm your host, Jodeci Ariana, with freshman right-hand pitcher Sugi. So Sugi, next question.
Hey.
How has the season been for you?
How has the season been for me? It's honestly it's not good.
Uh-oh.
I threw one game against the Central. I gave a big home run and we lost. And since then my shoulder has been bugging me and I haven't thrown in the game much yet. It's pretty sad. Yeah, I've been trying, I'm doing my best to catch up, but almost there.
Yeah,
Almost there.
it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Never easy.
Trust in process.
Yes.
Coach also said
There
that.
we go.
Always.
Yes.
Trust the process.
How are you adjusting with classes and being on a baseball team?
Classes is I thought it's gonna be harder for me because of my English, but it's actually teachers are really nice. They take care of my advantages of languages, and one of the coaches is he used to work as an English teacher, so he can help my English paper and stuff. He's a really nice guy, and a lot of people who help me is in here, so it's all good.
And what do you plan on doing after Yavapai?
After, if I can get offer from a 4-year school, good school, I might go there. Or if I can get drafted, that would be also the part of plan. I don't think I'll play in Japan just because they don't really know I'm playing in here as a Japanese. Probably I'm not going to Japanese league, 4-year school or get drafted. That's my dream or goal.
This has been the JUCO Sports Report. I am Jodeci Ariana here with freshman right-hand pitcher from Yavapai, Sugi. Sugi, thank you so much for doing this for me.
Thank you.
Hello, sports fan. As you're listening to the NIA Sports Report coming from Varsity Sports. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Brandon Tran, as I have a special guest on the call today, as I'm welcoming the softball head coach in Brandon Telesco, as he's in his first season of softball this year. How are you, Brandon?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
And how does it feel to be coaching the softball team this year?
It feels good. I'm honored to, be chosen by the administration at Park to lead this program. It's relatively new, so we're kind of building it our own and finding a way to build a successful college softball program here at Park, local here in Gilbert, Arizona. If you look at Arizona, there's quite a few options, and we want to be the one that everybody chooses to come and play for.
And tell me, what got you to come to Park Gilbert, coming from South Mountain?
Yeah, it's we talk about a journey for me in a coaching journey, and this was the next step. I was the associate head coach at South Mountain and with Brittany Mata, and we got to do a lot of great things, but I think it was time for me to take the next step to essentially lead my own program, to build my own program. It's only in year 4, and we're kind of building it from scratch essentially, and so the opportunity to make it our own and to be right here in Gilbert, and just an amazing growing community. I think there was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
And let's go through your season so far. You started off 0-3, losing both of them to Taylor University and 1 to Arizona Christian. What got you to adjust and win 3 out of the last 4 games?
Yeah, I think, when we talk about building a program, right? The last couple of years here at Park, the program was, didn't have the best seasons. They found a way to lose a lot more games than they won. And so when you're trying to build something, it's it takes time, right? Players have to learn how to win instead of finding ways to lose. And so I think that was something for us. We were kind of adjusting, right? A lot of players that have been used to losing games, and so we're kind of trying to change the culture, change the way of things, and it takes time. And so with that, instead of finding a way to lose like we did opening night, we lose on a drop fly ball. We clean those things up. We clean it up defensively. We make some adjustments offensively, and we start to get it rolling. And so I think that's what has happened. And with time, I think we're going to continue to find ways to win.
So you didn't just win 3 games; they were all on the road too.
Yeah, we're in a unique situation here at Park. We don't essentially have a home field. We play our home games at Legacy Sports Complex in Mesa, but it's not your traditional on-campus field. And so for us, we feel like we're on the road all the time, right? Our kids have to drive our car. Everybody drives their car to the parking lot. We roll out. We get a couple hours at the field, and then whether we go to campus or they're going home, whatever it is. So we've kind of created that environment where we're on the road all the time. So we're comfortable there. We spent a lot of time this season on the road, and it's going to set us up for hopefully the postseason and more to come in terms of us being on the road and being comfortable and winning games there.
Perfect. And thank you for being on the call today. Good luck to the rest of your season, and I hope to talk with you again.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, and go Bucks.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Hello there. My name is Brandon Tran, and I'm a Cronkite student at Arizona State University. And I'm so thrilled to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As a former athlete myself, I'll be providing content, both boys and girls, as you can follow me on Twitter at BrandonTran70. As I hope to see you all there this semester and provide great content around you.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
And now it's time for the GCU Club Report, an in-depth look into the many different club sports that Grand Canyon University has to offer. Hi everyone, my name is Dominic Hernandez, and today I'm very excited to be doing an interview with prop Eliza Irigoyen and flanker Chloe Williams for the GCU women's rugby team. So Eliza, Chloe, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good as well.
I just want to start off with, why did you two decide to come to GCU in the first place?
I mean, I came with not wanting to do, I didn't come with any prior knowledge of playing sports. I came to do either the pre-med or the nursing program. That was the main reason why I came to GCU.
Yeah, so I really did want to play rugby in college. I didn't really know where, but my high school coach recommended that I play with like a startup program, so something a little bit newer. And I really liked the fact that it was club, so it wasn't as much of like an NCAA commitment.
And so, what were your first impressions of the team when you joined?
So I came out my freshman year and I just came for a couple of practices. My freshman year, we only had 18 players, and then two people had ACL injuries, and then it was kind of hard with subs and situations. But it was also coming back off the COVID year, so we only had about 2 solid games because they would get canceled due to positive COVID tests or this and that. So it was just more starting, I think, just reset for rugby and contact sports in general, figuring out how to navigate around COVID restrictions.
My first impression of the team was that there was definitely a solid culture. It had been apparent that like the past year was pretty hard and we were like trying to come through and start on a new slate. So there was definitely that sense of growth that we were all trying to achieve. And I think overall, like it was definitely really awesome to come into it.
Yeah, she also came the year after
Yeah,
I did.
I'm a sophomore. This is my second year, so I came a year after.
So, how have you seen the sport like help you in your majors you're pursuing right now?
Me, really good with time management. It's helped me like with time management. And then also because like I'm doing now a public health major with the COVID restrictions and having to navigate that, it kind of just tied into my degree. And some of my classes and coursework like would talk about similar precautions that we were taking out on the field and we're carrying them in the classroom as well.
Yeah, I am an exercise science major with an emphasis in sports performance. So having taken those classes has been really awesome for me because it translates to the way that I play on the field and the way we lift and stuff like that. So it's definitely very applicable and I've been able to use it in like multiple aspects for sure.
And what has your experience been like being a part of this team?
I think it's been good. It's given me a good community to build around. I've met some of my closest friends that I've met throughout my college being out here on the team. And I think if it wasn't for rugby, I wouldn't have that support system.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I would 100% agree with that. I think being a part of this team, it helped me because like I didn't know anyone in Arizona when I came, you know. It was definitely brand new. It was very unfamiliar. So having a really tight-knit team that was super accepting made the whole like college transition so much easier. And on our team, like everyone is accepted and you're valued based on so many different things, not just how athletic you are. And so it was really comforting having that dynamic and feeling so safe.
And lastly, what can we expect from the team going forward this season?
I think we're moving forward. Like our ultimate goal is to be playing in that game on May 6th in the national championship. We just got to continue to work hard and be there for each other.
I would say GCU rugby, we are at the very like beginning of our journey and we are willing to do anything we have to do. And we're willing to make sacrifices and work as hard as we need to play at the level that we'd like. So from GCU, I would definitely expect us to keep progressing and to be one of the top teams in the nation.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank prop and hook Eliza Irigoya and flanker Chloe Williams for the GC women's rugby team for taking the time to do this interview today, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. This has been the GCU Club Report. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at this car show here, cruising through the decades, and I'm here with my co-host Dom Hernandez and Vince Delicio. And you know, it's been a beautiful day so far, beautiful morning. This show has officially started. It started at 9 o'clock, so there's some beautiful cars out here, some classics to come out. You know, this is going till 1 o'clock, so you guys still have time to come out and get a look at these beautiful cars out here. But we are hopefully looking to get Coach Lindsay Mahoney from the Women's Rugby GCU Club Sports on here soon. But in the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit about Kevin Durant making his on-court appearance coming up on Wednesday. So, Dom, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a crazy opportunity for the Suns to getting a player like Kevin Durant to come to your team, and this late in the season where they're just going to make that playoff push. It's just I can just feel the excitement that the Suns fans must be feeling, getting ready to see him play on Wednesday and make his debut for the team.
Yeah, so it'll be against the Hornets, and so I'm excited. You know, he did get a standing ovation his first time, his first time appearing at being on the Suns court. So I know the Suns fans, they're gonna come out and really put on a show for Kevin Durant. So I'm really looking forward to see how these three, Kevin Durant, Booker, and Paul, so how they just kind of play together and see how their chemistry is on the court. Also, I just want to mention too, track season is officially on the way. So today there's actually a track meet that's being held at South Mountain High School, and I myself was a track athlete, so I'm looking forward to track season.
What were your events? This I have to know.
So my events were the mile and the 800. Those were my two.
Really?
Yeah.
What were some times? Throw out some of your best times,
Ooh,
and then I'll tell you mine.
Okay. Well, honestly, high school I don't remember because that was about a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
But college, I will say my PR for the 800 was I think 209, and then for the mile, I don't know. I can't remember because I think in college it's more of the 1500, not the mile.
Okay.
So it's a little shorter. So I don't want to say a time I don't want to say a mile time and then be off. But yeah, I was pretty fast. So Vince, what were your times?
They weren't what you said. So I was just kidding. I was more of a casual walker. So that's about it. But no, I was not a distance runner. So, but anyway, so yeah, but it's interesting. You were a multi-sport athlete in high school and college, right, Beatrice?
That's right. Well, yeah, so my freshman year of college, I was a JUCO. I went to the JUCO route. I played cross country. I ran cross country, track, and I also played basketball. So,
where'd you play?
I played. So my first season I played at Grand Canyon. No, not Grand Canyon. Glendale Community College.
Okay.
And then I went to Mesa Community College, and then I got a D2 scholarship to Academy of Art University out in San Francisco. So I ran cross country and ran track as well.
So you did that at the D2 level. It was cross country track was your main concentration there. What was that like compared to running at the JUCO?
Well, just the level of intensity is just obviously like higher, and I was just on a strict schedule, and of course living in San Francisco, there's so much going on. It's really fast paced. I was known for the girl running up the hills to make it on time to practice because of course I had to commute. I had to take BART. I don't know if you guys are familiar with BART.
BART,
but
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to take BART, which was pretty much like the subway, I guess. In New York, they have their subway, but that was my subway, and sometimes I would, there'd be delays, and so then when I get off BART, I have to run up hills. And you guys know San Francisco hills are not fun, but it was really sad. I would have to, at some point, like I was running over homeless people, like jumping over them to try to make it on time.
So you were pulling, well, I don't want to say this because he's not held in high regard much anymore, but you were pulling an OJ. Basically, just running through.
Don't say that.
No, I won't say that. Not just in that respect. You know that commercial, the car rental commercial where he'd run through the airport and he'd hurdle over stuff, and that was O.J. Simpson. So the juice. Anyway, so so that's exciting. And you lived in the Bay Area, but then you came back home. You grew up here. You graduated from Chandler High School. You're local, but you ended up coming back home. What brought you back home?
Family.
Family? Missed family?
I missed my family. It was really hard. But yeah, family brought me out here. Now I'm here. I took a 4-year break actually after undergrad, and then now I'm here in grad school at ASU. So
yeah. How's your program?
Amazing. It's been a grind. Let me tell you, if you guys are considering getting in the sports journalism field, just know it's a grind. It is a grind, but all the hard work will pay off. And but like I was talking to Dom here, he's graduating soon in a few months, so that's exciting. Yeah. I'll be graduating next December, so So I'm excited to see Dom just where you end up, and I know you're gonna do great things.
Yeah. So Dom, speaking of you, so you're going to be graduating here in a few months. What are your short-term goals, plans? What do you?
Really, I'm just looking to write for stories for anything like doing high school, probably out of the gate, because it's like something I've been familiar with. Like get some experience writing stories for high school sports, and then transitioning and getting a little bit better and doing like professional teams eventually. And like I said before, it's I really like doing like the play-by-play and the color analyst that I've been analysis that I've been able to do with the Varsity Sports Show that
Sure.
I've gotten. So this experience has really been really great for me, and it's really opened my eyes to maybe I can pursue this and do like play-by-play and color analysis in the future as well.
Well, it's definitely been a different experience, I'm
Yeah.
sure, in working with us because of the fact that we're venturing into other sports. And you're the beat writer, Dom, for GCU Club, so you're going to be calling rugby tomorrow. We're going to be doing some lacrosse as well. I mean, it comes down to when you have a job interview in a market and they say, "Can you call this sport?" You know, everybody puts their hand up for football. Everybody puts their hand up for basketball. But how many people put their hands up for lacrosse, for rugby, for cricket, for all these other sports? It's exciting stuff, so it's a lot of fun. Guys, when we come back from the break, Beatrice, what do we have coming up?
Yeah, so coming up we have Joe Mickey, the Saguaro baseball coach. So we'll be talking to him a little bit and getting our SaberCat report. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here again at the Cruising Through the Decades car show.
Yeah.
It's getting a little crowded here. Like I said, it does end at 1 p.m. So you guys, ladies and gentlemen, come out and let's enjoy this show.
We'll be back.
Yes.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM.
Be able to cover all the different sports that every high school has to offer.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Grace Armistead. I'm a sports journalism major and former athlete at the University of Arizona. I know what it takes to be an athlete, and I'm excited to represent Varsity Sports Show this semester to showcase our talented Arizona athletes. I can't wait to bring fire for our listeners this semester.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly, right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Mickey. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, live from Mesa Desert Ridge High School, where it's the Cruising. I keep getting it wrong. What's the name of it? The Cruising Through
the Decades.
Cruising Through the Decades car show. There's a lot of classics out here. Over 300 cars, a couple thousand people. Come on out, guys. We're on the corner of Crisman and Madero in East Mesa. It's easy to get to from any part of the valley. It just takes a little while if you're from my side of town. But regardless, it's still a beautiful morning, a little overcast, nice and cool out. And we are joined on the line by an old friend of our program. We're so excited to be ramping up our partnership again with the Saguaro SaberCat baseball program and the Men of Character, and that's Coach Joe Mickey. Coach Mickey, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vince. How are you this morning? Sounds like a fun morning going on over there.
It's a fun morning over here, Coach. We're pumped, man. This is going to be year 3 in covering you guys, and you've had a couple of great seasons last couple of years that we've covered you, and I know much more before we even met you. What's different about the 2023 version of the SaberCat Baseball Club?
I think a year older. We were pretty young last year, and I'm really excited for this group to kind of be able to take the reins and start to kind of create their own identity as they kind of leave their mark on Saguaro baseball. And so with the guys that we have that are kind of now our seniors and even the sophomores last year that are juniors, it's really just one of those exciting times for this group to kind of start to showcase their colors.
Hey, Coach, this is Beatrice here. I just want to ask you a quick question. So I know you just mentioned your seniors. You have 9 seniors on your team. So what would you like your seniors to really leave behind for your underclassmen? I know you have 2 freshmen and a few other, sophomores, juniors, but what would you like for your seniors to really just leave behind for the younger ones?
I love it. Every year, you just hope that and that's the goal, right? Is that the seniors kind of continue the tradition that we carry as the character in our program, and how we impact the campus and community. But truthfully, just how we carry ourselves on and off the field. And so when you have a pretty good-sized senior class of 9 guys, you want them leaving that legacy of just this is how Saguaro baseball, this is how we compete, this is how we approach our process. But how we compete in the classroom, how we compete on the field, and how we carry ourselves in all situations. And so those are always the things that I think athletics allow you the vehicle to do. And these seniors are definitely, some of them have been 4-year program guys, and some have just joined the program. And so you just want them all to kind of be that family dynamic. We really try to create that culture. And so if they continue that, then they've continued to leave the footprints that we want to leave behind.
All right, hey, Coach, Dominic here. So I know your season has started already with you playing a couple games. So what do you hope to see from out of your team from these first few games that you guys have played this year so far?
Yeah, no, Dominic, we're in a national invitational, and every game we played, there's been 200 or 300 people out watching these games and seeing some big time talent from California to Alabama, teams that have come out here to play, and we're really getting a good test of where we're at as a program. We played some tight games. The first day we played was a windy day, but Corona del Sol is a heck of a program. I mean, this is what this is why we're really excited. El Dorado is a great program from California. Today we got St. Joe's. This is kind of giving us an opportunity to work through some situations, put some guys in some of these opportunities to be exposed at a national level, and then truthfully just also start to understand what it takes for us to be the program that I think we're going to be. And so even though, you keep it in perspective, 0-3 is not how we obviously want to start the year. We lost a tough one to Red Mountain yesterday, 2-1 late. But I think this is why we do this, is for just that. It's to learn how to compete together and work through adversity, and also figure out how to win in those close games.
All right, well, thank you so much, Coach Mickey, for coming on and doing this interview, and good luck on the rest of the upcoming season.
I greatly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the coverage. I always get so many compliments about what a great job the Varsity Sports Show does with showcasing us, and so looking forward to the upcoming year ahead.
Thanks, Coach. The check's in the mail. I appreciate the kind words. First game will be, Bradshaw Mountain on Wednesday. We're going to be live streaming. We'll get our crew out there. Thanks again, Coach. And we may mic you up, too.
I would love to. I know we didn't have a perfect go of it last time.
You were a little nervous, yeah.
Another shot at it, so that'd be awesome.
We're going to get you. We'll get you, Coach. Thanks again.
All right.
What a great guy. I like working with Coach Mickey. Coach Mickey is Saguaro SaberCats. So, Dom, what do we have coming up next?
So, coming up, MG Armistead will present the Wildcat Insider for all of you U of A fans out there. So, don't go anywhere. There's still more content coming up.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Welcome. It's time for your Wildcat Insider with Mary Grace Armistead. Your inside report on Wildcat athletics on the Varsity Sports Show. Let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Wildcat Insider with Mary Grace Armistead on the Varsity Sports Show. Let's get started. First, we have Arizona women's basketball beating 2 top 25 teams on senior week. First, they beat number 4 in the nation, Utah, then number 21 in the nation, Colorado. Senior Pellington was named Pac-12 Player of the Week. Pellington had a career high of 35 points against Utah Friday. She then followed up with 19 points against Colorado and marking 1,500 career points. And for the second straight season, Arizona women's basketball total attendance surpassed 115K. They are just one of 6 teams in the country to accomplish that. Arizona women's basketball now moves up to top 15 in the country, now placing at 14. Next, we have Arizona baseball squaring up for the first time in the MLB Desert Invitational, where they beat Michigan State, UC San Diego, and number 2 in the nation, Tennessee. Next, we have Arizona men's basketball beating Colorado and going up to 7 in the AP poll. Then we have Arizona softball starting off beating Indiana and number 8 in the nation, Virginia Tech. We next have, while men's tennis had an off week, women's tennis took 2 tough losses to Kansas and Texas Tech, but ended the tournament beating UC Santa Barbara. Arizona Gymnastics also lost to Oregon State, but are back this week in McHale against UCLA. That's all for your Wildcat Insider today. Stay tuned on the Varsity Sports Show.
It's time for the Sun Devil Report with Eric Castellon, bringing you all the latest sports news around Arizona State University. Good morning and welcome to the Sun Devil Report. I'm your host, Eric Castellon, and we have quite a bit of sports to check in on in what was a very busy weekend of ASU athletics. Starting it off with opening weekend at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the Sun Devil baseball team began their season with a clean sweep of San Diego State University in a 3-game series. The Devils won 6-5, 5-3, and 1-0, respectively, and are off to a quick 3-0 start. Head coach Willie Bloomquist talked about that quick start and the overall takeaways, especially from the pitching department, he got from this weekend.
I think you start with mentality, and we preach since day one, don't beat yourself. And I think when you look at the line today, we didn't exactly beat the brakes off it offensively today. It was pretty dismal, but at the end of the day, we didn't beat ourselves on the mound or defensively. We didn't make an error the last 2 days. We walked one hitter today. You don't give up free bases. You give yourself an opportunity to win games, and that's what the main focus has been. These guys are buying into it. I get it. Nobody's trying to walk hitters, but at the same token, they understand the importance of not giving up free bases. So, that's been a big focus, and we'll try to continue the trend.
Up next for ASU is a series in Starkville, Mississippi, to take on a tough program in Mississippi State, and it'll be interesting to see if the team can keep up the trend that Bloomquist was talking about. Moving to the hardwood, it was ASU's last homestand of the 2022-2023 season as they hosted Colorado and Utah this weekend, needing every win they can in order to try and make the NCAA tournament. On Thursday night, the Devils fell to Colorado 67-59 in a game that can ultimately hurt their chances at a tournament bid, with the Buffaloes being so low in the conference standings. Shooting was again the issue as ASU shot just 37% from the field and 28% from downtown. On Saturday, however, they turned it around and defeated Utah 67-59 after a much better 44% shooting and the play of Warren Washington and both Cambridge brothers, Desmond and Devin. 18, 15, and 14 points each respectively, and the win will push ASU in the right direction heading into their last 3 games. It will prove to be a tough stretch where a win or two will help bolster their resume as they travel to 7th-ranked Arizona, 4th-ranked UCLA, and USC over the next 2 weeks. Just like baseball, the ASU softball team is off to a quick start as well, winning 8 of their first 10 games to start the Megan Bartlett era. The Devils took part in the SDSU season kickoff 2 weekends ago, winning 4 of 5 there, and hosted the Littlewood Classic this past weekend, also winning 4 of 5. Their only losses each tournament were to top-tier schools such as Notre Dame on February 10th and BYU this past Thursday. The biggest takeaway from this opening stretch was the play of senior Jordan Van Hook during the Littlewood Classic. As she earned Pac-12 Player of the Week, she hit safely in all 5 games, batting .643, including 4 home runs, bringing her total to 6 on the season, tied for first in the nation. Up next for the Lady Devils is a trip to Cathedral, California, to take part in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic this weekend. Well, that's going to do it for the segment today. Make sure to tune in next week to check in on the women's hoops team and to keep up to date on both teams on the diamond. Until next time, I'm Eric Castellon, and thanks for tuning in to the Sun Devil Report on the Varsity Sports Radio Show.
Welcome back. We are live here at Cruising Through the Decades. It's the car show here being held at Mesa. I'm here with my co-host, Dom Hernandez, and the one and only Vince Delicio. You guys, this morning has been a morning, and the show has officially started. It's started at 9 o'clock, 28 minutes ago, and so there's going to be an award show that's going to be at 12:30. So if you have time, if you're in the area, come by, come take a look at these cars. There is a fee. I believe it's a $25 fee to get in, but it does go for a great cause. It goes to the Desert Mountain Theater.
Yeah, well, the fee is actually if you want to show your car, but I think if you're just walking in to observe and to see all the great cars, now there's no fee to do that. But anybody that wants to make a donation to the Desert Ridge high school theater program is certainly welcome to do so out here at Desert Ridge High School. You mentioned awards, Beatrice. I'm looking forward to finding out the award for Best Radio Broadcast this morning. I'm looking around. I don't see any other shows here, by the way. Hey, where are you other morning shows at? All you guys that, are in the comfy confines of your studios. We're out here braving the elements. Granted, elements is a little overcast at 55 degrees. It's not bad, but Best Radio Broadcast. What do you think? Should we pitch that idea to Carl, the other event organizers?
I think so, but I think that's an easy win, right, Vince?
It should be. It's hands down, no question. So anyway, Beatrice, what do we have coming up?
Okay, coming up, we have Hannah Pettiferry, who talks about the Corona del Sol Aztecs, the Aztec Report that's sponsored by Angry Crab Shack. Crab Shack. Sorry, that kind of gets a little hard to say when you say it so fast, but it's I've never been to Angry.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know why I can't say it.
That is the
Angry
best
Crab
place.
Shack.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe is the best. They've got a seafood boil. It is just delicious. You guys love seafood. You got to head out there. It's off of I-10 and Warner Road. It is amazing. Richard's the general manager out there, and
you know the general manager.
Oh yeah, I'm on speed dial with the GM out at Angry Crab Shack. They are great. Guys, join us after the break. Coming back with the Aztec Report. We're going to talk to Keona Pete from Corona del Sol High School. We'll be back.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, my name is Maya Denise Gaskin, and I'm a 19-year-old student pursuing a degree in broadcast journalism at the University of Arizona. With a passion for sports and a strong background in dance and performance, I'm excited to pursue my dream of becoming a sports broadcaster. In addition to my professional experience, I have a track record of academic success and leadership throughout my community. I currently serve as your Miss Arizona Teen USA, and I'm eager to use my skills and talents to make a positive impact in the world of sports.
This is Coach Lucas Ramirez, and you are listening to the home of the Saguaro Sabercats, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Sports, sports, sports. Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Mondaka, and it's a pleasure of mine to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring. I'm a current undergraduate student studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm still unsure of what exactly I want to pursue in sports journalism. However, I hope to learn and advance my knowledge under the Varsity Sports Show and create great memories with you. Let's make this a great year and let's strive for greatness.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
KDUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
Hello everyone and happy Saturday. My name is Hannah Pettiferry and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show segment of the Aztec Report. The Aztec Report is sponsored by Angry Crab Shack of Tempe, located near the I-10 and Warner Road. For the Aztec Report for this week, I had the opportunity to sit down with Keona Pete of Corona del Sol football and discuss the recruiting process for him. Keona is currently a senior at Corona and has a range of offers waiting for him. And here's that interview right now. Hello, Keona. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So what specific things are you looking for in a school in order to commit to them?
Honestly, going to a school, I don't really care like the location because I feel like that's a big thing for a lot of people, but mine's honestly like somewhere where I can just like see myself living and like fitting into, you know, like the team's culture, like, you know, the environment, things to do around the school, stuff like that, the coaches, how they treat the players. And yeah.
And then what are some things that make you hesitant about committing to a certain school? Sort of piggybacking off that first question.
Yeah, I'd probably say like if I feel like a different, like a bad vibe from a coach, or, you know, I don't believe in their morals or something that they say to me, or maybe even the position I'm playing could be a big thing, or maybe even what the weight they want me to come in, something like that, you know. But other than that, honestly, I don't really put out any options.
Okay. So after playing 4 years in high school, how do you think playing football in college will be different than playing in high school?
I think it's going to be a lot different and a lot harder because I think everybody's ego, everybody loses their ego once they get to college because everybody is the best player from where they're from, you know, on the team. So I think wherever I go, the competition level is going to be high, but I also think I'm going to like that and thrive. So, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, that is all I have. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Kiona Pete, senior football player at Corona del Sol. Well, folks, that's all I have for this week for the Aztec Report. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week on the Varsity Sports Show. And this is Hannah, signing off.
Welcome to Alexis with the assist. Not like the NBA all-time leader in assists, John Stockton, but better. I am going to be assisting you with basketball nuggets so you'll have one up on your friends the next time you guys talk sports. A new week means new basketball news. The official start of the WNBA season is only 3 months away. For Phoenix Mercury star Brittany Griner, being able to wake up in her own home in Arizona instead of a Russian cell has been a dream come true. As a reminder, Brittany Griner was wrongfully detained in a Russian cell for 294 days. After a national prisoner exchange, she was reunited with her wife, beloved Phoenix Mercury, and her own home. Griner did not want to waste any time getting back into the gym. The Houston, Texas native was recently spotted playing basketball in a Phoenix practice facility. In another vivid statement to stay with the Mercury, Griner took a 32% pay cut. She signed a one-year contract worth $165,100. The 6'9" center agreed to this deal in order to still share the court with teammate and the WNBA's leading scorer, Diana Taurasi. The two-time Olympic gold winner has been right at the top of the max salary her last 3 seasons. This season, she was eligible for a $234,936 Supermax. That's it for Alexis with the assist. See you all next week.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Overview with Olivia. In today's segment, we'll be discussing all things baseball as spring training is back in the Valley, as well as the new rules set for this season and what fans and players can expect. The Super Bowl and Waste Management Phoenix Open have come and gone. Arizona is now moving on to the next sporting event that is certainly going to bring in fans. Spring training has begun in the Valley. Catchers and pitchers have started to report. Arizona is a popular destination for spring training. They host over 10 organizations, including the San Diego Padres, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, and Chicago Cubs. The 2023 MLB season will bring new rules to the playing field. Pitchers will now be timed 15 seconds to throw a pitch with nobody on base and 20 seconds with runners on base. Many pitchers were made aware of this rule back in December to hopefully give players the opportunity to adjust. The rule has brought along attention from fans and players alike. Once the season is upon us, we'll get a better understanding of how players have adjusted. This new rule has been put in place with hopes of maintaining a consistent pace of play at about 2.5 hours. The pitch clock was used during minor league games last season with dramatic results. Games that used the clock were an average of 25 minutes shorter than those that didn't. Be sure to grab your tickets to see your favorite teams and players at the many ballparks around the area, such as Peoria Sports Complex, Sloan Park, and Salt River Fields. America's favorite pastime is back in full swing. Thanks for tuning in to this week's segment of Overview with Olivia. We'll catch you next time.
It's more than just a game. Sit back and relax for a global overview of sports and sports cultures, games around the globe, and coverage of countries worldwide. Welcome to Around the Globe with Maya Denise Gaskin. Good morning, Arizona. This is your host, Maya Denise Gaskin, with another segment of Around the Globe. This past week, the Varsity Sports Show crew called a soccer game that took place at Mountain View High School. Great game. We had the Perry Panthers and the Tucson Badgers. I got the chance to interview the coaches of each team, and at the end of the game, we saw a win for those Panthers, who will now be going to 6A soccer championships. If you're interested in seeing those pregame and postgame interviews, head on over to our Instagram and check it out. To stay on the topic of soccer, Sin Hun Min knows a thing or two about becoming a pro athlete. Here's some background information on this international soccer star. Sun left South Korea at age 16 to join the German soccer club, with whom he had made his first appearance in a top European soccer league in 2010. After spending some time playing for Germany, he switched to being London-based, and in 2015, he was offered a $26.9 million deal. Sun recently did an interview with CNBS and shared his top tips on going pro and handling the pressures that come with it. Let's talk about what those tips are. Number 1, sleep well, eat well, and do what you need. You know, like stay in training ground when you need 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. That's a direct quote from Sun himself. Even if distractions are everywhere, the sport should be the priority, Sun believes. Here's another quote from him. You have so many options, like to play video games, or that you always want to do more, like playing with friends, he said. I think you should always be thinking the number one thing is football. But of course, to us Americans, he's talking about soccer. Sun also addressed some of the biggest lessons he's learned from his career so far. He says, I think the lessons are don't try and chase your happiness, he told CNBS. Many people constantly search for happiness, he says, when in fact it can come from things right in front of you, like your family or job, Sun believes. Another way Sun said he deals with the pressures of being a pro athlete is by falling back to his family and making sure he talks to them about his mental health. Wow, now that's a pro athlete I will take some tips from. Thank you so much for listening to this week's segment of Around the Globe with your hosts, Maya Denise Gaskin on KDUS 1060 Arizona. And until next week, have a beautiful day.
All right, everyone, and welcome back here to the Varsity Sports Show on this chilly Saturday morning here at the Cruising Through the Decades car show. And I mean, it's just a great time to enjoy sports here in this springtime right now with we just seen the NBA just came off of their All-Star break, and they just got set for the second half of their season. And fans were just last night, what's crazy, was treated to an insane game in LA with the Sacramento Kings coming to town and winning a double overtime game, 176-175, which in turn turned into the second highest scoring game in NBA history. So, Beatrice, you just don't see that score every day in the NBA, even with how high scoring games are now. That's just a crazy score to see.
It really is. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but to be in that environment at this time, to be the second highest scoring game, to be there, I know that must have been fun. But I also want to throw in there that what remains the highest scoring NBA game is Detroit beating Denver back in 1983. It was 86-184 in triple overtime. So I know that must have been a fun game to be at. But yeah, like you said, this is not very common. It's not something you see in the NBA. So.
Yeah, it's just insane even with how high scoring these games are, because now it's rare you see a game with teams scoring less than 100 points, but scoring 176 and 175 points in one game, it's just insane to see. Even with a bunch of overtimes, it's just not very common with the way these games are played.
Yeah, and I have to ask you, Vince.
Yes.
So, are you a LeBron James fan?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I like LeBron James. He's achieved a lot of great things. Obviously, he's one of the greatest of all time. The whole argument, LeBron versus Jordan, hands down, Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player to ever walk this planet. So that's not even a question.
I know so many people who would argue against that.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Do you think LeBron has earned his GOAT title after being now having the highest scoring record?
Yeah, but then again, he did come out of high school. Jordan went to college. So, I mean, that's a difference, and it could have been the same thing. So, what do we have coming up after the break? Looking like we're coming up on our last segment. What do we got?
Yeah, so coming up, we have the Southern California Surf Report with Mike, who's, your dear friend. So,
I wouldn't say dear friend, but he's a friend. Okay. Sometimes acquaintance, sometimes not even that. Anyway, all right, guys, come back after the break. We'll be back here on the Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey everyone, my name is Eric Castellan, and thank you for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show. I am currently a senior at Arizona State University, attending the Walter Cronkite School of Mass Communications and Journalism. I'm originally from California, but I moved to Arizona because of all the sports that are available out here, and I can't wait to bring you all the high school sports that we cover, whether you're listening or watching. Stay tuned.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during this segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And we are live out at Mesa's Desert Ridge High School on the corner of Crisman and Madero in East Mesa for the Cruising Through the what? Decades car show. I keep wanting to say Cruising with the Classics, but anyway.
Ooh, I think they might have to
Cruising
have
Through
a
the
name
Decades.
change.
Yes.
That's nice.
Over 300 cars this morning, some awards being handed out, and it is just it's an amazing day, amazing morning. A good friend of mine joining us on the line for a regular segment,
Mike Beal with the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report. Mike, remember in high school your dad got you that 49 Cadillac we used to cruise around in? Talk about that classic jalopy.
Yeah, it was a classic jalopy. I remember one time the brakes went out on 16th Street in Bethany. That was exciting.
Yeah, it was. That was before Barrett Jackson. Who knows? That car could have been, fetched some money. I think did your dad pay like $200 for the car? I don't remember.
I think he found it, to be honest with you. But
okay.
I remember it didn't even hold a candle to your tricked out 1971 Ford Pinto you had senior year.
That's right.
Is that at the car show?
Not today. No. It's in collecting cobwebs. But we're joined, Mike. I don't know if you've met them yet, but Dom Hernandez and Beatrice Martinez are out here helping us with the basically running the show today. So, guys, I want to introduce you to an old acquaintance of mine, Mr. Mike Beal. Go ahead.
Dom, Beatrice, it's nice to meet you. And just to clarify, I wouldn't say that Vince and I are acquaintances. I'd say we're more like, at best, internet friends. So.
Adversaries.
and that's a maybe.
Yeah, yeah. If even that. Yeah. Although you got off social media, but your wife is still heavily involved. She's posting all kinds of weird pictures of you.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't know, but if you say so, I guess. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so this is a Southern California Surf Report. As you know, we were kind of jonesing to fill some airtime about 3 years ago, and we came up with this idea, and it's evolved. But let's get back down to the roots of this thing. Give us a Southern California Surf Report.
Oh, it's bad here. We are experiencing the storm of the century. It's been raining off and on for like 3 days. Hang on a sec. Can you guys hear this at all?
What is that? I don't know.
Pouring
are you running the faucet in the bathroom? What's going on?
I just went outside to watch my trash barrels float by in the front yard. It's bad. The power went out last night, so I just got sent back into the Stone Age.
So let's make sure and clarify for our audience. You are a real life person. You're not an actor that is paid to pretend to be somebody that you're not. You are a real life person. You live in Orange County, California, in what is considered the armpit of Orange County in Costa Mesa, California, and you're an avid surfer, right?
All of those things are almost true.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that's where you are this morning. So, and you're having some rough weather out there. Have you at least been out to check out the beach?
No, but I am going to go to Newport Beach, this place called the War Zone, to Sharky's Bar and Grill right after this to see if their electricity's on, and I want to see if the taps are working on the kegs.
Oh, of course you have to do that. Yeah.
There's no surf today. It's unlike your favorite movie, Point Break, when Bodie catches the wave of his life and it's pouring rain and it looks good. Yeah. When it rains here, the surf it's horrible. Mainly because when we get the rain, the wind brings it, and before the rain gets here, the wind blows out the surf, and then by the time the rain gets here, it's all junky and breaking sideways. You can hardly even paddle out.
So you said junky. So give us some other terminology here for the novice casual surf fan.
Geez. I guess the opposite.
We can tell we were really prepared for this segment today. So,
yeah. Wow, that came out of left field. No, I would say the opposite of junky would be glassy, and I'll let you take a guess on what that means. If I say, Vince, the surf is nice and glassy today, what would you think I mean?
It's pretty amazing. It's ideal temperature and conditions, right?
Close. It means there's no wind, so it's nice and smooth. Just the opposite of junky.
Okay. And then how do you identify some people involved with surfing? What are some common vernacular of how you describe people?
Well, getting back to another one of your favorite movies, The North Shore from, I think it was 1987.
Yeah.
This guy named Turtle in the movie kept calling the star a howlie.
Okay.
That's another one. It's more commonly used in Hawaii. It's sort of the equivalent of our kook and Barney. But
Yeah.
can you take a guess what a haole means?
I don't know. You guys, Beatrice?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, go ahead.
It it means someone that has no idea how to surf but wants to. So I guess another kind of a synonym would be a poser.
Poser. Now you had a nickname for me, which meant like leader of men and victorious. What was the one that you called me?
The aforementioned kook. That is exactly what you are. Yeah. It means it reminds me of the time about 25 years ago. We paddled out in front of where I lived in Newport at the time.
Yeah.
And so I paddle out there. I'm sitting in the lineup. I turn around. I'm looking for you, and it looked like you were spinning 360s on your board, caught in quicksand, close to shore, kind of flailing your arms, like Mike. Help!
It was a couple of feet deep, but I got pulled under. I'm telling you, there was something going on out there. I don't know if the big great white was out there just sucking all the water in, but it just took me down. It was fast.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if you actually know how to swim. I know you had a pool at one time, but you had a safety fence around it for you and the kids. So I don't know if you ever conquered that one. But.
No, I can. I can swim. So, all right. So, Mike, that's all right. Some great vernacular. Some conditions are not ideal to be out there today. Are you planning on doing any surfing tomorrow? Will the weather clear up in Orange County, California?
No, this storm is going to continue. But, when I first moved out here shortly after college, I learned that you cannot go surfing after it rains. It was one day, it was like a Sunday, and waves were pretty good. It rained Saturday, so Sunday morning I get up. The waves looked pretty good, and there was just me and one other guy were sitting out there, and I was like, this is awesome. How come nobody's out here? And he's like, I don't know. The next day, I found out why no one was out there. It's because from Riverside all the way to the beach, the rain washes everything from the streets, gutters, clears out channels, canals, dry riverbeds, and it all dumps right in between Newport and Huntington. So even though the water was brown, I didn't think much of it. But for the next 3 days, my stomach had never hurt so much in my life. So... no, I don't think anybody's going to be surfing for a couple of days after this one. I mean, it's been pouring rain for 3 days, and I don't think it's supposed to stop until Thursday. We had a blizzard warning the other day, and I heard it was hailing in Huntington Beach yesterday. So there's not going to be any surf for a little bit.
All right, well, Mike, thanks so much for joining us, and we're hoping that people continue to listen to the show after this report moving forward. So, Mike, good job.
No, I just want everyone to keep me in their prayers. There's no electricity here. I can see my breath in my own kitchen. It's so cold. I'm freezing.
All right. Well, folks, keep us in your prayers that we have a show next week after this report, this debacle of a report from Mike Beal of the Southern California Surfing Report. Thanks so much, Mike. Seriously, it was a lot of fun. We always have fun talking to you. We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Be safe out there in Orange County in those rough conditions and 70 degrees and slight 5-mile-per-hour wind from the west. So, anyway. All right.
Thanks for having me. Right.
Yes. Okay, so, guys, what'd you think? We're already at the end of another show. Dom, what about you first?
It was a lot of fun getting to come out and do a remote broadcast instead of being in the studio, getting to be a part of this Cruising Through the Decades car show, to see all the cool cars out here and getting to do a lot more live guests on call and getting to do a lot more live interviews. It was just a lot of fun.
Beatrice, what about you?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, that was my first time, I think, a few weeks ago, being in the studio, being in that kind of setting. So just being out here, outdoors, enjoying the nature, and just seeing all these faces and have this event here right in front of us, and people looking at us like, hey, who are you? So it's been really cool.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Varsity Sports Show this morning. To our show partners, thank you again, as always, for supporting all of our efforts and everything we do to spotlight all that is good in Arizona. Thank you to our guests today. We had a lot of fun with it. We're going to be covering a lot of great things this spring. Stay connected to our Twitter @Varsity Show. We're also on Facebook and Instagram for everything that gets archived up there, including the show and all of the announcements and the links to all of our broadcasts. Beatrice, take us on out. What's coming up next?
All right, coming up next, it will be Easy Sports with Ed Smith and Javon Adams from 10 to 12. So stay tuned and make sure you guys tune in to their show. It'll be very interesting. So, but again, we are live here, cruising through the decades here in East Mesa. The show continues until 1 p.m. So make sure you guys come by and just take a look at these beautiful cars. But that'll be it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show.
Go Varsity. We'll see you next week. Ed and Javon up next. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studio.